registration, no rear mirror, trafficking and controlled substance, first degree, second offense, possession of drug. Mr. Cross, you acknowledge the identity of your client, received indictment, waive formal reading and arraignment, and plea not guilty, reserving all pretrial motion.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir, I'm signing a reciprocal discovery order here that requires the Commonwealth to give your attorney certain information to help you prepare for your defense. You need to be here on January 29th at 9 a.m. for negotiations, and February 8th is your next court appearance.
Okay.
There are no complaints that I'm aware of, so you're under the same bond. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Jesse Phillips, active warrant. Mr. Stockton.
Yeah, we'll look in and see how I see you.
Terry Phillips Jr. for review. Are you Terry Phillips Jr.?
Yes.
What is this, Mr. Stockton? What kind of review?
This is a review to see if he's paying restitution. He's paying restitution as court's order.
Okay. When do you want him to come back?
I don't think I will need him back other than just, for the problem. And then if it's not paid off, if it's still the case is not resolved toward the end of the diversion, we'll have to do something.
So we continue it generally subject you redocument with notice to the attorney.
He still owes about $261,000 on 2009.
Yeah, so there's 50,000 got paid for
But that's going to
that.
have to be corrected some way. I've not got anything.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. So what we need to do on this is you need to keep in contact with your attorney. So Mr. Stockton give notice to the attorney if it gets redocketed, okay? Okay, thank you very much. William Shickles. Commonwealth versus William Shickles, 23 CR 0052. Are you William Shickles?
Yes, sir.
You born in 1979?
Yes, sir.
Last week, here for a pretrial conference. What do we have?
We'll have a plea, Your Honor.
Mr. Stockton, will you come around?
Pass it a little bit. He's in Edgewater recovery. We'll have a plea if you pass it so we can do the paperwork.
Today?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll call you back up here. Alfred Silva.
Judge, he is on his way. He is staying in Somerset, and I had to schedule transportation through RTEC for him to get here. And they had a little mix up this morning, but he's on a bus and he is en route. He will be here in just a few minutes.
Might be like New York City. We'll find the bus in contempt. Sue them. Cody Smith. Cody Smith.
Maybe outside, Your Honor, it seems in court, because he always attends court. So,
Commonwealth versus Cody Smith. 23 CR 0067. Are you Cody Smith?
Yes, sir.
You born in 1992?
Yes, sir.
Last four digits.
No, sir.
What are the last four? Make note of that discrepancy on. Yeah. Mr. Stockton, the wrong social security number
Okay.
is on the indictment.
What is the correct one? And I'll go ahead and say, Mr. Whittenberger furnished me, I'll in order correct.
Okay, I won't say it out loud, but why don't y'all just change it because we were broadcast. Why don't you just change it and then I'll initial it, okay? On each one. See if they're just line through this, put the correct social security number.
it's right there.
He doesn't have to initial it, I'll initial it. Thank you for the initials. So, I'll just line through, the rest of them. You have the right to remain silent. You're represented by counsel R. Cody Smith, as you previously identified. The grand jury of Clinton County has returned an indictment charging you with assault in the 4th degree, wanton endangerment in the 1st degree, terroristic threatening in the 3rd degree, and intimidating a participant in the legal process. You acknowledge the identity of your client, counsel, receive the indictment, waive formal reading and arraignment, enter plea to not guilty, reserving all pretrial motions.
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm signing a reciprocal discovery order here. It requires that the Commonwealth to give your attorney the information to help you prepare for your defense. What's the story on this, Mr. Stockton?
Well, the only issue I'm aware of at this point in time is regardless of bond.
Y'all move to the left here, get behind me.
I've been in contact with the victim. The victim, Mr. Smith, have children together. And he's wanting to contact the children, but due to the nature of the charges, he doesn't need to have any contact with her. That's what he was said, that I have an audio recording.
Is there EPO or DVO
There is, Your Honor.
in district court?
We've got.
Were they ever married to each other?
No, Your Honor. We've got a pending motion in front of Judge Lawson, for the DGI, I think he came in yesterday's office to see about getting restrictions removed as far as for him seeing the kids and I guess get a no contact towards her so they can communicate back and forth about the kids. Your Honor. And then we'll have a, I guess, motion about custody on the kids as far as that goes.
That's the problem. I don't think he should be having contact with other, you know, I think the district court or whoever should handle the visitation, but I don't think that in this case, I don't want the kids to be a vessel to be used to talk about it. That's the problem I've got in this case, because this is pretty graphic.
Well, it's very difficult, you know, when you have these two courts handling something like this. So right now I'm going to be put at the request of Commonwealth, have a condition on, getting condition on bond. He had no contact with the mother of the children. And, I think that order will hold. His condition is bond. If he wants to have contact with her, then he'll be in jail and he can try to use the jail phone.
Your Honor, the way they had it
You
worked
understand
out,
what I'm saying?
the way they had it worked out at the district court, my understanding was either your kids called you or you called them directly.
But
They had
let's
their
see,
own
that's neither here nor there. I'll let the district court determine how the contacts with the children, with the caveat that he can't be involved in calling the mother. They can work that out down there.
phone. But if that continues, that wouldn't be a violation of circuit
If he
court.
doesn't talk to her and he's not in contact with her, I don't care what they do in the district court. That's Judge Lawson. I trust his judgment on that thing. You agree with that? You know, I personally, until this is sorted out, wouldn't give him any visitation or contact with the children. If I was doing the EPO or DVO until I had a hearing on it. Have y'all had a hearing on it?
There's already been a DVO established, Your Honor.
Yeah. Okay. That's my ruling. He'll be back here on January the 29th at 9 a.m. for negotiations, and February the 8th for his next court appearance. Both of those are conditions of his bond.
Your Honor, if we have the 8th date changed, I'll go to trial in Wayne County starting
That's
Thursday.
my rule date. I can't change my rule date.
Okay. I'll see about having somebody come down and cover.
Yeah,
it.
well, if you negotiate a plea or something, they can enter it that day. If not, you can bring somebody with your calendar down.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have nothing further in front of the court. May I be excused?
Absolutely. Thank you. You know, Johnny Stevens. So I'm saying, let's go. Johnny Stevens. I'm up versus Johnny Stevens. Commonwealth versus Johnny Stevens, 18 CR 0059. Sir, are you Johnny Stevens?
Yes, sir.
You were born in 1977.
Yes, sir.
You're here today for review. What does the Commonwealth have to say about this?
Your Honor, it looks like Mr. Stevens has this paid down to either 1166 or 1066. He just recently made $100 payment. So I'd ask for a review in 60 days, so make sure you keep paying.
Be back here, stay in contact with your attorney. Be back here March the 7th unless you're cleared not to come, okay? By making payments. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kyle Thomas. Okay, moving down to, he's in Clinton County. John Tucker. John Tucker. Commonwealth versus John Tucker, 23 CR 0054. Are you John Tucker?
Yes, sir.
Born, you're here today for the purpose of arraignment. You're represented by counsel, Mr. Cross. You have a right to remain silent. If you have any questions about the proceedings, step away from the microphone and privately communicate with Mr. Cross, okay? The grand jury of Clinton County returned an indictment charging you with unlawful use of electronic means originating or received within the Commonwealth to induce a mind to engage in sexual or other prohibited activities, prohibition of multiple convictions arising from a single course of conduct, solicitation as evidence of intent. You understand those charges?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Mr. Cross, you acknowledge the identity of your client received indictment was formal reading or interpreting not guilty reserving all pretrial motions.
Yes, Your Honor.
You sign a reciprocal discovery order that requires the Commonwealth to provide your attorney the evidence that they have concerning your case. You need to be here on January 29th at 9 a.m. for negotiations, and the next court date's on February.
Your Honor, I
The
would,
eighth.
I would anticipate that this prep on this will take a little bit longer due to electronic review necessary and such. I don't think it's going to be very productive to have it on the 29th of the 8th.
What do you have to say, Mr. Stockton? Come around here.
The discovery is not that extensive. If Mr. Cross is gonna hire an expert or something, it's not that extensive or something.
And see, I don't know with my.
Yeah.
Well, y'all just be there on that date, and if that's the case, you can give your reasons why you don't want to negotiate. And, you know, and your rationale as to how long you think it'll take to do that. I just like to keep it on schedule.
Fine, Your Honor.
Okay. Candace Tweedy. Commonwealth versus Alfred Silva.
She just now came in and I needed to get an affidavit on her for an attorney.
She qualified.
She will.
Yeah. Where, has she been processed yet?
She's been certainly.
Yeah. What happened to Alfred Silva?
He's here, this year too.
Commonwealth versus Candace Tweedy, 23 CR 0058. Ms. Tweedy, were you born in 1997?
Yeah.
Last 4 digits of social security number. Okay, the grand jury of Clinton County has returned an indictment against you. You're represented by counsel here. I want, if you have any questions about anything I say, step away from the podium and speak quietly to the attorney. The grand jury has charged you with possession of marijuana, possession of controlled substance, the first degree, possession of controlled substance, the first degree, no charge, and possession of great paraphernalia. You understand those charges?
Yeah.
Also, do you acknowledge the event your client received indictment, waive formal reading arraignment, interpleading not guilty, reserving all pretrial motions?
Yes, Your Honor.
Signing a reciprocal discovery order You're to be here, ma'am, the next time on January 29th, 9 a.m. for negotiation, and next court date's February the 8th at 9 a.m. and both of those are conditions of your bond.
She have any restrictions on her bond, regards to curfew?
Yes,
I've been getting complaints from the city police about her being out midnight, it's various individuals and things. And I just want
okay.
to stop that.
Don't respond to that, okay? I'm telling you, work, church, or the doctor. That's where you need to stay at home. And as they used to say in Monroe County, you don't need to be out of garment around.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Let's go back to Alfred Silver. Commonwealth versus Alfred Silva. 23 CR 0048. You're Alfred Silva.
Yes, sir.
We're here with you today.
He's here for his duty to register. We missed that last court date. He needs to read it to him and he needs to sign all 4 copies and open the court.
Okay, why don't you take those in the back room? And you want to be there with him and go over it quickly, or?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, is there anybody else here on the live docket that was out? I guess we didn't do anything about Ashley McCusker, right?
Yeah, we're going to do the plea paper here.
Dylan Murphy. What about Dylan Murphy processing?
Yes, I'll.
William Schickles?
12 months for 2 years.
Working on paperwork for him. Alfred Silver just went back. Kyle Thomas is in the clinic. Okay, well, let's go off the record just for a second. We're back on the record. Mr. Silva, did you look at those duty to register
Yes.
forms? Are they all in order? Did you,
Yes,
you'll
sir.
sign them now here in open court?
Yes, sir.
Probation, or you ever need to talk to Mr. Silva today?
I will after you sign them, thank you on that, I will.
Yeah.
It's gonna make sense.
Well, it's a continuation of a very unusual day, but pins on that, I'm gonna get an official pin. I can't be using your pin. Yeah. That's the worst thing that happens to me now, but it's already not the worst thing to say.
And Your Honor, if I may, you had indicated to Mr. Silva, whenever we were here for final sentencing, if he could show proof of being admitted to long-term rehabilitation, that you would waive court costs. He is currently enrolled in long-term rehabilitation.
I don't remember that. Submit me an order.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, I don't guess we have anyone else here right now.
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah,
Thank you, Your Honor.
yeah.
Mr. Sylvia, just wait right there and I'll be right.
Commonwealth versus Dylan Murphy.
got a young lady that's also had it on. I don't think she's gonna die. I don't know who she is.
Get them to the handful. Commonwealth versus Dylan Murphy. 23 CR 0057. Are you Dylan Murphy?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You're here today for the purpose of arraignment. You have the right to remain silent. If you have any questions, step away from the podium and ask your attorney quietly. The grand jury of Clinton County has returned an indictment charging you with wanton endangerment in the first degree, 2 counts, and criminal abuse in the second degree, 2 counts. You understand those charges? You have to
Yes,
say
sir.
some audibly. You understand those charges?
Yes, sir.
Counselor, do you acknowledge the identity of your client received indictment, away formal reading arraignment, and you're pleading not guilty, reserving all pretrial motions?
Yes, Your Honor, and just for the record, I will note, and I've already contacted DPA office above my head. Mr. Murphy is a co-defendant with Ms. Farrell. I have already had extensive conversations with Ms. Farrell, so I know
You
Mr.
handle
Murphy.
arraignment though.
Absolutely, Judge. I just want,
What you're telling me is that you're gonna have to get conflict counsel,
yes, Your Honor.
okay? We'll have conflict counsel here on January 29th and at 9 AM and this gentleman will be there on the same date, and then on February 8th is court appearance,
Yes, Your Honor.
okay?
January 28th is 29th.
January 29th.
29.
29th. Change that, and then February the 8th. Both of them at 9 AM, both of them motions about it. Who else?
Who's next, okay? Earl.
Commonwealth versus Ricky Farrell, 23 CR 0056. Are you Ricky Farrell?
Yes, sir.
You were born in 2004.
Yes.
Last 4 digits social. You're here today for the purpose of arraignment. You have a right to remain silent. You're represented by an attorney. If you have anything, don't understand something, step away from the podium.
Okay.
And ask him quietly. The grand jury of Clinton County has returned an indictment charging wanton endangerment, first degree, 2 counts, and criminal abuse in second degree, 2 counts. You understand those charges? Okay. You have to speak up.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Counselor, you acknowledge the identity of your client received indictment. Wait for reading and arraignment, enter plea not guilty, and reserving all pretrial motions.
Yes, Your Honor.
You'll be back here on January 29th at 9 AM for negotiations, February the 8th for your next court appearance. I'm signing a reciprocal discovery order. It requires the Commonwealth to give the evidence they have in the case to your attorney so to help you prepare for the case. Both of these things are conditioned to your bond, okay?
Yes, Your
Thank
Honor.
What is her bond?
10,000 cash.
Okay.
It was 50,000 district court, she was on some cash. Yeah.
Okay. 10,000 cash is sufficient,
Thank you.
and with the same conditions, okay? Okay, we have anybody else ready here? Who is this gentleman?
What's your name, sir?
Alan Kyle Thomas.
Kyle Thomas.
Kyle Thomas, yes, Your Honor.
Commonwealth of Kentucky versus Kyle Thomas, 23 CR 0051. Mr. Thomas, will
Yes, Your Honor.
the DPA represent you in district court? He's what?
I had an arraignment, they had an arraignment for me, but I was in Wisconsin. I wasn't here for it, Your Honor. I knew nothing about it.
Is there a warrant out for him? What's he in jail?
Yeah, in December, that he had his service to the service for the title to December 11th.
Good.
And also said to say his name, maybe not ready, but he's given the wrong stuff at back. You know, how big?
It's Alan Kyle Thomas. I just go by Kyle because my dad's name is Alan.
For arraignment.
That was the
Yeah, it's listed as pretty.
pre-trial.
Okay. You have a right to remain silent. The grand jury of Clinton County has returned an indictment charging you with wanton endangerment in the first degree. You understand those charges? Now, I'm not asking you what you did or not. You understand what the charge is?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm signing a reciprocal discovery order in this case. The Commonwealth give you the evidence they have. What's the bond in this case?
I don't have your two involved here. I think it's for direct indictment. I don't think it was a court case.
Mr. Stockton, have you looked at the allegations on the face of involved use of a weapon and shooting in the direction of somebody, 5,000 sufficient?
Yeah, I think in this case it probably is because he was in an altercation with Joe Daly, who's a fugitive from justice, and I don't know if he's ever been picked up or not. And the reason I was alerted to this was my neighbor called me because he observed the altercation, which is I guess, 1,500 feet of my house. And they were fighting in the road, and then Sheriff Markham got to investigating it, and then he brought the indictment.
Okay, I'll let the bond where it is. You're not to have any firearms about you though. You understand that? You understand that? You're not to have any firearms on you. You understand that?
Yes,
Not
sir.
not in the vehicle you're in, not in the house you're in, not anywhere. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, you'll be back here on January the 29th at 9 a.m. for negotiation. And February the 8th is your next court date. Now, you said you were where previously? You're up in Wisconsin or
So
something?
that's where I was working.
What kind of work do you do?
I do roofing, industrial buildings.
Yeah, are you got out-of-state jobs coming up?
I do, but
Well, here's what Mr. Stockton,
Yes.
if he's working out of state as a roofer or something like that, you won't have any objection if he gives notice to pre-trial where he's gonna be located doing the roofing for him to continue to work. will you?
No, I'll have no objection.
You understand what I'm saying? But you need to be specific in calling and have your attorney tell the Commonwealth Attorney's Office.
If he can make his bond,
If he can make the bond.
and
What is the bond?
5,000 cash, he got the bond, he has my credit history.
Yeah.
I can't make the bond here.
Judge, could I ask for a surety or electronic monitoring in lieu of a cash bond so he can get back to working?
I mean, some of my family do, but I don't know if they're willing to. Okay. May I speak?
You just step away and talk to your attorney. Today's been kind of like one paint dry.
And Judge, I think it's important to know Mr. Thomas is claiming self-defense in this.
Well, I understand that, or we wouldn't be talking. Mr. Stockton alluded to that. You know. But let me tell you what, when you've got nobody at all in your family or anybody else that'll sign even, I'll change it to $10,000 surety bond for somebody in your family come in and just sign a surety bond.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Who else do we have here on this out of custody docket? Is there- Yeah, have you got paperwork being done on someone?
Oh, good. You can't.
Mr. Pennington, do you have paperwork you're doing on anybody?
split.
Judge, I think for way from Mr. Shepard right now, he's completing his PSI paperwork, so not.
You got the paperwork, you can go ahead and do it.
Well, I don't think we have to complete the paperwork, he's doing the PSI.
Yeah.
The other charge is better.
No, I was just doing the misdemeanor. You can take out what you say. Okay, I didn't write it down. That's my fault.
That's okay. What are we looking at?
That's the reason we don't like doing these until.
Dare County, if you'll join us, I see you're online. Turn your camera on. You need to turn your microphone on in Dare County.
Raised it.
You are muted. There you are, Dare County. A case of Dennis Kempton, Commonwealth Kentucky versus Dennis Kempton. Okay, you're off again at Dare County. Dare County. Okay, there you are, Dare County. Unmute your microphone. There ought to be a place on the screen there that's got a little microphone with a X across it. There you go. Can you hear me now? Hello? Hello?
We better use it. That's it.
Well, Kentucky versus Dennis.
Boy, the volume won't come up. I can't get the volume.
Are you Dennis Kempton?
I think that's the staff. That's a Class D facility, right? They don't do as much Zoom as the.
Most of them aren't from here. I've been there for several Christmases. Okay, moving right along here. The local basketball game doesn't start till 6. It appears we might be finished by then. And Dare County, if you have an 18-year-old house up there, they might be able to, usually younger people can get online better. Yeah. I remember when we first started using, here we are.
I don't know if y'all can hear me, but I can't get no sound.
Can you hear me now? Are the headphones plugged in? Maybe take the headphones out and the speaker will work.
Okay, I got it. I'm sorry about that, Mr. Williams, but we got volume now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have Dennis Kempton there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Commonwealth versus Dennis Kempton. Are you Dennis Kempton?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you born in that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your attorney is here, President Wade, counselor. Hello. Okay, you're gonna be arraigned here on a charge. You have a right to remain silent. If you have any questions about what's happening here today, he'll be back in contact with you, okay?
Okay.
The grand jury of Clinton County has returned an indictment, Mr. Kempton, charging you with burglary in the third degree, criminal trespass in the third degree, and theft by lawful taking or disposition. I'm presenting this indictment to your attorney, counselor. You acknowledge the identity of your client, receive the indictment, waive formal reading and arraignment, enter plea of not guilty.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm signing a reciprocal discovery order here. Your attorney will be receiving certain information from the Commonwealth to help you prepare for your defense. He'll be up to see you right soon. You're going to be back here in court on January the 29th. And for back here at the courthouse in Clinton County on January 29th for negotiations, and on February the 8th for your next court appearance. Now, is this gentleman being held on other charges?
He's a state inmate.
It's a state inmate, so he'll be up there to see you, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
There's nothing else there at the detention center, so Adair County, y'all are excused. Thank you for your help.
Thank you, Al.
Is Kenton County on there yet?
Got court.
Kenton County. What, Wayne County? Wayne County, okay. Commonwealth versus Jesse Pittman. Hello? No, somebody needs to activate the microphone in Wayne County.
Hello?
Okay, that's got it there.
All right, thank you.
Commonwealth versus Jesse Pittman, 18 CR 0074. Are you Jesse Pittman?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're here today on what says to be a motion to vacate. Mr. Stockton, what do you have?
This is the case we heard last month where he was asking to vacate the 18 case because that's what he's serving his parole on. He was revoked on a domestic violence case, which I ended up dismissing, but the parole board had already given him a year to serve. I believe, is that right?
I think it was a six. Yeah.
Yes.
And he's asking to go back and vacate the 18 case where he was involved in theft with pickup.
And Judge, when we're,
BPA post convictions involved.
that's what I was about to say.
Is that Andrea Reed?
Yes, Your Honor. Samantha Costello reached out to me earlier this week and asked if post-conviction could take a look at the motions that Mr. Pittman has filed. We only have the one that was filed on November 8th of last year.
You
So
need to move closer to your microphone and speak up a little bit. My sound system here is not great.
okay, I'm not sure what you caught of that, but Ms. Costello reached out to me earlier this week to ask post-conviction to take a look at what Mr. Pittman had filed because it's a post-conviction action. And we only have the copy of the motion that he filed on November 8th of last year. We don't have anything else that he has filed yet. We know that you appointed somebody, I think at the local office, but there hasn't been an appointment order for post-conviction to enter an appearance and look over this case. We are happy to do so if you would like to enter an appointment order so we can review his post-conviction motions and see if there's anything we can do to help him out.
Can you send me an order down? Andrea,
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I couldn't hear you.
Is there an AOC order form? Where will I get the order?
Would you like me to send you a proposed order, a tendered order?
Send me a proposed order, I'll sign it right away and we'll
Okay.
get you to work on the thing.
Yes, I can do that.
Cheryl, can you help her get the order together?
Yes, Your Honor, and I will make sure that she has all the contact information.
Okay, now we're next here on February the eighth, but since everything's gonna be done remotely here, I will consider you picking one of the other two venues that we have over in Burkesville or Tompkinsville to get him back in front of us when they're ready to get back in front of us, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Pittman, things are in operation now, okay?
Okay, thank you, sir. I sent in another motion myself. I sent in one for grounds on the 1142.
Well, you
And,
need your attorneys
I'm-
about.
Okay, I sent it to the
You're
clerk's office.
You're not on the docket for that today, but
Okay.
we're aware of that. We'll take a look and see if we can find it, okay?
All right.
Thank you, sir.
So she'll be in touch with me?
Janet Owenby there, is she there?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Commonwealth versus Janet Owenby, 23 CR 0035. Are you Janet Owenby?
Yes, sir.
There is an issue here about a competency hearing. What does the Commonwealth know about that?
Your Honor, I can clarify. I tendered the order this morning.
Okay,
Let's hear that.
you just want me to sign an order scheduling a competency
No,
hearing?
she's already been evaluated, and we didn't know if he was gonna stipulate or if we had to have a hearing.
That is correct.
Well,
We
somebody needs to tell me about it, you know.
Judge, yes, Judge, we went over the paperwork. Ms. Owenby has
Okay, are
agreed
you
to stipulate.
stipulating?
Yes, Judge,
That's
yes.
all I need to know.
Well, you
Okay.
wanted her signature on the agreed order, so he
Is
was
she there?
specific.
She signed it?
Yes, Judge.
Let me see it here. Miss Owenby, I'm showing you that. Can you see that there? Is that your signature on there, Miss Owenby?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, well, I'll sign this and we'll get things underway for you, okay?
And Judge, if we could get
February the eighth for pretrial,
and if we could also get that 29th date, Judge, I'm
January
hopeful,
29th for negotiation.
and I'm hopeful to have placement for her by then. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, that concludes. I guess we don't have anybody else over at Wayne County, so thank you all as always for your cooperation. Wayne County can be excused. Where's Jamie Ortiz there? What is that? What's Western? Let's go to Western Kentucky Correctional Complex.
Tell them your name.
Bobby Phillips.
Okay, Commonwealth versus Bobby Phillips. Are you Bobby Phillips?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Here for a pretrial conference. Where did Mr. Pennington go? Mr. Pennington? We're hunting your lawyer down here, Mr. Phillips. Who's in round? We have Mr. Bobby Phillips on the line here with a pretrial conference. What do we have?
Well, we've entered an offer, Your Honor, and I think it was what the defendant wanted, so we just need to get another date so we can enter the paperwork.
What's the deal on this paperwork?
So this was the one that I had to go meet the victim who's in the hospital, so.
We don't have paperwork on anything today. Is there something we can do to help you with this stuff, or the Commonwealth needs to be done differently?
Well, Judge, I think one of the Commonwealth's assistants was out, so there wasn't a printer to print paperwork last Friday.
That's correct.
You want to set a different date for Mr. Phillips?
Judge, I'm certain, and I checked with the Commonwealth, I was gonna have him transported today. He hadn't had a chance to speak with the victim yet, so. Yeah, the deal is what
Is
we
he
wanted.
a state prisoner?
He is, Judge.
So it won't affect his incarceration, so we can schedule it then for February the eighth, is that correct?
That's correct, Judge, and I'll tender a transport order today.
Well, he doesn't have to be transported. If he's already gonna be a state prisoner, you're gonna run it at the time. He doesn't have to be, you want him transported. You need to go see him probably. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
you need to go see him and then you can decide whether you want him transported.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll have him, if he does, it's your responsibility. Mr. Phillips, they say they got the paperwork done on you. They're gonna bring the paperwork down and go over with you so you can see how it affects, the service of your time you're already doing and this new plea agreement. Your attorney needs to come down there and meet with you face to face. So, okay, you see what I'm saying? So you can be fully informed about what you're getting into. Then we'll
Thank you.
if you reach the agreement and sign the documents, we'll decide then whether you need to be brought back up here or whether we can just do it by Zoom on February the 8th, okay?
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, and Western Kentucky Correctional Complex, thank you for your cooperation. Y'all can be excused.
Thank you.
Okay, Russell County Detention Center. Y'all will turn your camera on.
Camera, you know.
Russell County Detention Center. Russell County.
Hang on just a second, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. There you go. Commonwealth of Kentucky versus Stephen Bridgman.
Yes, Your Honor.
Commonwealth of Kentucky versus Stephen Bridgman, 23 CR 001. Are you Stephen Bridgman?
Yes, Your Honor.
Born in that?
Yes, it is.
Okay. This says there's some motion for shock probation.
Also final sentencing, I believe, Your Honor. I've got the one case, and Mr. Mr. has the other.
It's not on for sentencing.
He's already a state inmate, so I believe he can waive his this is a case, Your Honor, where we had filed for motion for shock back in November. You had referred him for an assessment for drug court. They did the assessment. I was not present in December, and so it was continued to today. So we're asking that he be released to go to drug court.
Mr. Stockton?
Yes. The way I look at this case, Your Honor, is, Mr. Nally served about 4 or 5 months in jail and cooperated. Mr. Bridgman didn't cooperate, took the case to trial. He wasn't found guilty on the arson, but he was found guilty on the tamper, and he got a 5-year sentence. He's going to be parole eligible here probably about June because of the 5-year sentence. I know he used to do pretty well in life till he got on drugs. Drug court would be appropriate. I think Commonwealth wouldn't have an objection to drug court because we'd have more control over it, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that because the judgment order and all that on the other case had been done signed, and if that closed the case, it didn't vote that. Yeah. So he won't do the silence on these things.
If he hadn't been found guilty, of arson, he wouldn't be having this.
And this is also the defendant, Your Honor, that his wife passed away between the trial and the sentencing. Leaving his son at home with no income.
What's it?
Your Honor, may I speak as well on behalf of Mr. Bridgman?
Yeah, we have any other attorneys here that might want to chime in that
Well,
aren't, that aren't for record? Here we just line up behind Mr. Cross there.
If he's going into drug court, he's getting out on our case, of course. I want to say this about Mr. Bridgman. He's one of the first clients I ever had when I started practicing law many years ago in a workers' comp case. He has at times done very well in life. He has the potential to be a good citizen. I think that knowing Steve as well as I do, I think that he benefits much more from the supervision requirements of drug court than he does by simply being paroled. I think that works in his best interest and the system's best interest.
I was really shocked he wasn't convicted of arson. somebody burned that cabin down, and there was testimony about it that directly
Yes.
placed him there, and there were all sorts of circumstances, but he wasn't convicted of arson. But that building was burned down. It was a total loss for the owner of the building. I just can't get that out of my mind. I can consider all the facts I know about the case, even
The other defendant pled guilty to it, Your Honor. Now he pled guilty to it.
I understand that.
Okay.
And you remember what he testified to also, don't you?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But that was the only evidence that Bridgman was involved, was his testimony.
And he was found not guilty.
Yes, sir.
What was he found guilty of?
Tampering with evidence, Your Honor, the liquor bottle.
I remember. I remember what he was found guilty of. What's Commonwealth's position on this?
Well,
Is there a victim here that needs to be notified?
Mr. Heist is lost financially. He came and he testified. I've not heard from him since. I could contact him if you want me to. Financially, you know, for some people, that'd be a great loss. For him, financially, it's probably not. So I don't know what his feelings are. I need to talk.
That's what, with his testimony at the trial, that the people who consider the destroying his property very important
Because
he was wealthy.
That was the testimony.
So I just don't want to open up, let people be making decisions on things like that. I will take it under advisement. I do think that there is a valid argument that most people would do better under the supervision of the drug court if they've got a drug problem. I don't remember that, I don't have any information in front of me that he has a drug problem. You know, it wasn't brought up at the trial.
As my role as Commonwealth attorney, I hear things and know a lot of things that I can't prosecute. And that Mr. Bridgman can dispute it, but I know he's had a drug problem for quite some time, either through his family members or through the,
Mr. Bridgman, do you
Yes,
think
Your Honor.
that you would benefit from participating in drug court?
I didn't hear you.
I said, do you have a drug problem? Have you had a drug problem, Mr. Bridgman?
Yes,
Okay, and do you believe that you would participate, that participation in drug court would be a good alternative to you to try to address that problem?
yes, Your Honor, I believe it would.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna grant the motion.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm gonna grant him shock probation. And the suit
5 years from now.
5 years from today. He'll be on probation for 5 years, and they'll be over, I guess, him and interviewed and that sort of thing. Well, I'll let him
No,
know.
he hadn't been assessed, it's been assessed.
Okay. Okay, well, they'll vote on you getting in drug court. As soon as they do, if when they open up for the orientation, I'll let you out if they vote you in, okay?
Okay, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all that I have. Have you seen?
Sure.
Thanks, sir.
Darian Riddle.
Yes, Your Honor.
Commonwealth versus Darian Riddle. Mr. Riddle, were you born in that?
Yes, sir.
You're here today for arraignment in 23 CR 0062 and 23 CR 0068. Now, were you previously represented in district court by DPA? I'll continue that. Cases. You have the right to remain silent. If you have any questions about this arraignment, your attorney will be there to consult with you. The grand jury of Clinton County has returned an indictment charging you with receiving stolen property and being a persistent felony offender on receiving stolen property, and also theft by unlawful taking or disposition, and being a persistent felony offender on that. You understand those charges. I'm not asking you whether to discuss it or whether you did it or not. Understand the charges?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Counselor, you acknowledge the identity of your client received indictment, waive formal arraignment, enter plea of not guilty.
Yes, Your Honor, to both charges. For both cases.
Yeah, wait formal writing and reading of the document. Okay, I'm signing reciprocal discovery orders. Now, Mr. Stockton,
Yes.
are these two cases, I noticed that are they separate occasions and separate things that were
That's my
stolen?
understanding, yes, one's involving, they're two different victims.
Okay. Okay. We have a negotiation day set for January the 29th at 9 a.m. You're responsible for a transport order. And then the next is February 8th, court appearance, okay?
I'll be over to see you, Darren.
All right, appreciate you, Mr. Brandon.
And Chris Thrasher.
Your Honor, give me
Comma
one
versus
moment.
Chris Thrasher.
Your Honor, give me one moment. I'll get Mr. Thrasher out due to the nature of his charges. I can't have him with these.
Okay, thank you. Back. Commonwealth versus Chris Thrasher, 20 CR 0087. You're Chris Thrasher,
Yes,
40.
yes.
Okay, here's for a pretrial conference. Is all the discovery and everything finished in this case, or?
Yes.
Okay, are you ready for the trial?
I think we need a trial, Judge,
Okay,
and if possible, a pre-trial also.
okay, we'll do you. Pretrials are a lot easier to set.
As we had talked a little bit before court, Mr. Leverage tells me he's got a motion to file. And I told him I intend to file a motion for change of venue, so.
You agree with that, won't you?
Change of venue?
Yeah.
I, not right off, Judge. I like to change.
Yeah, well, you know, we've already tried one case here in this situation that's related to this situation. We didn't have any trouble seating a jury, really. And I don't, of course, it was a pretty harsh outcome of the trial, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it reflects upon where the jury, you'll need to substantiate it pretty well. Unless you have an agreement on that. When you want to file these motions, let's set February the 8th as the date that you, either one of you have any motions. Mr. Leverage, do you have anything you need to file, or?
There will be a motion I'm planning to file.
Okay. And maybe both of you serve each other in time for you to have responses for that and be back here on February the 8th. And on that day, if we haven't reached a resolution to the case. Now, if you need any testimony on that date as far as change of venue, you need to give Mr. Leverage some notice on that so he'll be able to accommodate it after the end of the docket somewhere. You know, it might be during the lunch hour or something like that, so we can get both of you away from here during the lunch hour at least. From what's happened today, we might have a heavy docket next month because we put a lot of things over. Okay?
You want to give me that to be, Judge?
Well, it just depends on whether you're gonna take testimony. If you're gonna take testimony, we'll set a time certain so you won't have to come around, or we could come in earlier than that. Both of you operate on fast time, don't you? Yes, sir. And you get up early, I'm sure. So it might be better for both of you if we try to accommodate you at 8:30 or something in the morning. So we hear the testimony, hear your motions, and get y'all on the way. That way you won't have to sit here and suffer through the rest of these things. Okay? So we'll just be waiting to hear from both of you, okay?
All right.
Did you catch all that, Mr. Thrasher?
Yes, I did.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, we don't have anything else in Russell County right now, so Russell County, you may be excused.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Y'all have a nice day. Enjoy the drive back.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Just clean that area over there. We never did get Kenton County. Or Kenton County, there you are, okay. Kenton County Detention Center, Commonwealth versus Cody Chilton, 17 CR 00055. Are you Cody Chilton? Okay, they'll have to unmute the microphone there. The microphone is muted, please. Commonwealth versus Cody Chilton.
Is it
Mr.
unmuted now?
Chilton. Okay, yes, yes, you can. Mr. Chilton, were you born in that?
Yes, sir.
You're here today on something to do with a shock probation revocation. Mr. Stockton, you want to come around?
I didn't get on.
Okay,
Your Honor,
go
before we get started, let me say, I represent Cody. I didn't know he'd been picked up. I didn't have this on the docket. I really know about it, little about this as anything other than he's got some issues.
Mr. Stockton, tell me what this is about.
Yes, probably with it.
It probably went to James.
Well, no,
Yeah,
it says it went to both.
Yeah, went
Yeah.
to both of them.
Okay, that's.
Tell me what's going on, Mr. Stockton.
Mr. Chilton has a 10-year sentence on burglary and fleeing and evading possession of controlled substance. He's the one that had a DUI charge in Hardin County that's laid up there for a year and a half. I don't know that they ever disposed of it, so we kind of sanctioned him a while and he kind of floated back and forth. But during the pendency of waiting on that DUI conviction, besides these other problems, he's got a new arrest in Kenton County, domestic violence, assault, and he had 2 handguns with him on his backpack, a Glock 9mm and a .40 caliber Smith and Wesson. I'm asking that he be revoked. If I have to get the officers on Zoom from whatever from Kenton County, I'll do it, but that's my position.
Mr. Cross, you represent Mr. Chilton.
I do, Your Honor. And, Cody, you heard what he had to say.
Here, yes, sir.
Is there-
May I say something? May I say something?
Probably better not.
Why don't, what county are you in now? You in Kenton County?
Kenton County.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. I'd better talk with Your Honor. See
I'd
what's
say that
going
would
on.
probably be good.
Let
I
me,
will reschedule this on February the 8th, Mr. Chilton, to allow your attorney to talk to you privately. You have the
Yes,
right,
sir.
you have a right to remain silent, and if you say anything there, it could be used against you. And also, this will give us opportunity to bring the officers that made the new
They
arrest.
appear by Zoom.
I will allow them to appear by Zoom. And Mr. Cross, if you want Mr. Chilton transported for this thing, you can get a transportation order. Otherwise, he will appear by Zoom.
we'll make that determination, Your Honor.
We'll
Thank
do
you.
it.
Cody, I'll be in touch.
Do it in
All
enough
right, thank you.
Don't
Yes.
get it the day before, okay? Thank you. Thank you, Kenton County, for your cooperation.
Thank you for your patience, sir.
Thank you. Okay, let's go to the Clinton County Jail, I guess. We have anybody else here in the courtroom?
Judge, we have 2 pleas.
Oh, yeah, we need to clear that area out over there, bring the grand jury in. Bring the grand jury in. All rise for the grand jury, please. Okay, everyone can be seated. Who's the foreperson of the grand jury? Madam foreperson, have y'all completed your work? Have 9 or more of you agreed and authorized you to proceed with your signature on there?
Yes, sir.
Have you present that to the bailiff? You may be seated. Let me examine the document. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the grand jury, I've looked at the documents that were presented to me. They appear to be in good order. I'm going ahead and sign an order, and we'll determine as we look at these whether we'll have criminal summons issued for individuals or whether we will have warrants. Usually, if they're not in custody, we do warrants with bond on them. It's our responsibility to set the bond and amount to assure that they will appear. And if they're dangerous, to make sure that there will be limitations to protect individuals that might be victims. Therefore, it's very important that you keep confidential any information that you received in the grand jury about this or any other matters for the protection of those who testified. Hasn't happened here in Clinton or Cumberland County, but in some counties around, we've actually had people injured and some deaths where stuff leaked out of the grand jury did. And sometimes people decide to get scarce if they've been indicted, if you follow what I'm saying. So thank you very much. Unless you're called back in case of a special grand jury for an emergency or insurrection of some sort, you'll next be back here on February the 8th. The world we live in, who can tell whether there's an insurrection coming, right? We just don't know. But if you see a CNN and Fox going around the Clinton County Courthouse, you'll know there's been an insurrection. So thank you for your work, and you can be excused. All rise for the grand jury. Okay, let's go back to you have a couple of pleas, did you say?
Yes, Your Honor. Let's start with Ashley McCusker.
And who is this you have with you?
Ashley McCusker, 23 CR 49.
I got it here. Commonwealth versus Ashley McClusker, 23 CR 0049. Miss McClusker, you were born in, what do we have here? A felony plea or?
That was the misdemeanor.
Misdemeanor plea? A motion, you can get behind the microphone. A motion been tendered says you wish to enter a plea today. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you currently under the influence of drugs or alcohol? Is this plea freely and voluntarily given?
Yes.
You've previously been identified as the same person named in this indictment. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is your judgment impaired today in any way?
No.
Have you discussed the charges with your attorney?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with his advice?
Yes.
Have you reviewed all the evidence Commonwealth has against you?
Yes.
You believe you're fully informed about the case?
Yes.
You understand that you do not have to enter a guilty plea today. You understand that? You have certain rights under the Kentucky United States Constitution. I need to know that you fully understand those rights. I'll ask you at the end if you understand it. Okay?
Yes.
You have a right not to testify against yourself. No one can make you say anything. Right to speak trial by jury, the right to be represented by counsel at your jury trial, right to confront and cross-examine all witnesses called to testify against you, right to give us evidence, right to call witnesses in your favor, right to appeal this matter to a higher court if you lose, right to part of the Commonwealth, prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you're guilty charged against you. Understand that by entering a guilty plea, you give up those, right? Now, I may consider the Commonwealth's recommendation, but I may apply any range of sentence provided law. I don't have to accept. This is a misdemeanor, so I won't have to have a pre-sentence investigation. So I'll make my decision today. I accept it based on information I have. In the event that I don't accept the recommendation, decide to impose a harsher sentence, you have the right to withdraw your plea of guilty and proceed to trial. Y'all will move to your left. Mr. Stockton, come forward and give them what the Commonwealth's recommendation is.
Your Honor, Ms. McCusker would plead guilty to assault, 4th degree, 12 months, probated for 1 year, supervised, and she would enter and complete anger management classes. And I think she may have those already signed up with cabinet. I'm not sure.
But give me some background, please.
Ms. McCusker evidently had an altercation with her older daughter over babysitting. This is the allegations that's contained from the cabinet. And during the time that they had this altercation, she's supposed to have hit her in the leg with a spatula and cussed at her. That's the allegations of the case. The grandparents who reported this wanted her to be in anger management and didn't want any jail time. And also that's what Sheriff Mark.
Injury?
The picture I've got, I can't make out anything. It's just a red place. If at all, I'll show you the picture I've got. It's by text message. Its quality's not very good. I don't even see anything from that. Yeah. It's my opinion
that she probably shouldn't have been charged with felony to start with based on evidence. But that's what she was indicted on.
Is it a probated sentence?
Yes, 3 years supervised. Yeah, no debt.
Yeah,
And Judge, Ms. McCusker is under a prevention plan with the cabinet. She is still in.
she reconciled with the child lived with her again, or?
No, I've not had to, I mean, I've not been able to have no contact with her because you wrote no contact. You know, whenever I got out of, I guess for the indictment, and so I ain't had no contact with her. But before that, I was getting to see her and all that, but they said they'd give her back to me today, you know, as long as you said that it would be okay.
How's the child communicating with you? Y'all all right?
Oh, yes. I mean, we talked every day, all that. It's just me and her had an argument because I
How
told
old is she?
11, almost 12.
It'll get worse.
And I usually took her phone away from her, but then I just bought her another phone, so.
Do you have any help disciplining her? I mean, is her father in the home too, or just you?
Just me and her stepfather, but he's been there since she was 9 months old. So it's not, you know, he's always been there, so it's a lot.
And then Ashley, how often are you doing your therapy classes?
Oh, every week. They come every week.
Yeah, well, you ever diverted a misdemeanor to a
I don't think it's provided for the statute.
I know, but you know, people do it all.
I know they do it. I kind of like to follow the law most of the time.
I think that some people think there's a plenary power in the district courts to
We did that.
do that, you know, but I'll go ahead.
If you come back and vacate it.
Okay, I'll accept the plea.
Thank you.
And let me tell you something. Corporal punishment and whipping people is a very controversial thing now. You understand what can happen to you
Yeah.
now over something like this. I'm glad you didn't hurt the child permanently or anything like that.
No.
I'm sure there are children all across Clinton County and in Cumberland County that would love to train the punishment that's been put on them for what you did, but that doesn't diminish the fact
No.
that, you know, you're gonna have to refrain yourself. And maybe the child will understand too, the repercussions of not minding and provocation. I'm not blaming the child because she's just a child.
Yeah, she's just a child.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Good luck to you. Was that supervised?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you don't need to meet with a probation parole officer. Okay, who else do you have?
William Shekels, 23 CR 52.
Cromwell versus William Shekels, 23 CR 0052. Are you William Shekels? Are you William Shekels?
Yes, sir.
I'm warning that is. Okay, do we have a plea of some sort?
Yes, Your Honor.
What kind is it?
Felony plea, Your Honor, probation.
So what?
A felony plea, Your Honor.
Mr. Shekels, a motion has just been hindered that says you wish to enter a guilty plea. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you currently under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No.
Is this plea freely and voluntarily given?
Yes.
Have you previously been identified as the same person named in this indictment?
Yes.
Is your judgment impaired today?
No.
Have you discussed this matter with your attorney and are you satisfied with his advice?
Yes.
Have you reviewed the evidence the Commonwealth has against you and are you satisfied that you're fully informed about your case?
Yes.
You understand that you do not have to enter a guilty plea.
Yes.
You have certain rights under the Kentucky and the United States Constitution. I'm gonna go over those rights, and after I do that, I'm gonna ask you to understand all of them. If at any time you have any questions, you can step away from the podium and ask your attorney, okay?
Okay.
You have a right not to testify against yourself. No one can make you say anything. The right to speak trial by jury, right to be represented by counsel at your jury trial. Right to confront and cross-examine all witnesses called to testify against you, right to use evidence, right to call witnesses in your favor, right to appeal this matter to higher court if you lose, right to require the Commonwealth to prove on a reasonable doubt that you guilty of charges. Do you understand that by entering the plea that you give up those rights? You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I may consider the Commonwealth's recommendation, but I may apply a range of sentence provided below. I don't have to accept the recommendation. Prior to accepting the recommendation, I will await a pre-sentence investigation report done by probation pro. In the event I do not accept the Commonwealth's recommendation and decide to impose a harsher sentence, you have the right to withdraw your plea of guilty and go to trial. Mr. Stockton, will you come forward and say what the Commonwealth's recommendation is?
Your Honor, Mr. Shevels will plead guilty to trafficking and controlled substance first degree, receive a sentence of 6 years. He would be committed to Edgewater Recovery Center in Moorhead, which he's already enrolled in for a minimum of 6 months, and he'd be supervised for 5 years.
Is that what you agreed to?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you pleading guilty because you did commit the acts charged in the indictment?
Yeah.
You plead guilty to your own free will?
Yes.
Know your constitutional rights, so you desire to proceed with your plea of guilty and allow the court to fix your punishment. You understand that bearing a guilty plea in future convictions of felonies could be enhanced in a persistent felony offender law. You understand that?
Yes,
Is
sir.
that your signature on the docket?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will accept the agreement or the pre-sentence investigation report. You'll be back here on February the 8th. Now, was the entire sentence probated? Is that correct?
That is correct. Well, once he completes rehabilitation.
Yeah, but he'll be back in rehab. We leave here today and go back to rehab, right?
And Judge, yes, and we were gonna ask, it was a daunting task to get Mr. Shepard here for transportation. Is there any way he can do final sentencing via Zoom?
I have no problem with that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You know, or you can go up and get him and bring him back and forth either way.
Moorhead's a little further than Manchester.
You think a lot of, hey, Mr. Shickles, in other words, he thinks a lot of you, but not that.
It's 3.5 hours from here.
I've been there many times. It's a beautiful place.
It is. It's a great place.
I hope your recovery goes well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you very much.
Go to the you drive up the Rocky Atkins Road to get to the Rocky Atkins building and turn right and go up the Rocky Atkins stairs. Okay. I guess we're ready to go back down to Clinton County Jail. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Clinton County Jail, if you'll come on. Okay, let's call Terry Britt out first. Arraignment. Commonwealth versus Terry Britt, 23 CR 0055. Are you Terry Britt?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Here today for the purpose of arraignment. You have a right to remain silent. Your attorney is here. The grand jury of Clinton County has returned an indictment charging you with possession of a handgun by convicted felon, possession of marijuana, and possession of drug paraphernalia. You understand those charges?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Counselor, you acknowledge the identity of your client, enter plea of not guilty, waive formal reading and arraignment.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm signing a reciprocal order here, sir, that requires the Commonwealth to provide you with the information necessary to prepare for your defense. You'll be available on January the 29th for negotiations and February the 8th for your next trial, your next pre-trial. Okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you very much. John Brown. John Brown. Commonwealth versus John Brown, 23 CR 0059. Are you John Brown?
Yes, Your Honor.
You born in 19?
Yes.
Okay. You're here today for the purpose of arraignment in case number 23 CR 0059. You have a right to remain silent. Your attorney is here present in court. If you have any questions about the proceeding today, he'll be in contact with you. Possession of your grand jury charged you with possession of controlled substance, the first degree, possession of controlled substance, first degree, another charge. You understand what those charges are?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm signing a reciprocal discovery order here. You acknowledge the identity of your client receiving indictment, waive formal reading and arraignment, enter plea not guilty, reserving all pre-trial motions.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you'll be here in court on January 29th and you're at the courthouse for a negotiation day. And on February the 8th, you'll be in court the next time. If you need him transported for negotiations, it'll be your responsibility.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your attorney will be down to see you. Okay, to explain about the negotiation day. Okay, Commonwealth versus Charles Grizzly. Grizzly. It's the same name as the TV star, Grizzly. Commonwealth versus Chrisley the second. Are you Charles Chrisley the second? I need Charles Chrisley. Thank you. Was Mr. Brown trying to say something else? Mr. Brown, did you have anything else? Is he all right? Mr. Brown, I didn't mean to cut you off. I didn't see you trying to say anything. Do you have something else?
Yeah, I was just wanted to discuss bond.
Okay, have you looked at his bond?
I'm not, Judge.
What is his bond? Yeah, I doubt if you're out in bond and for 100 grams of meth, so you'll probably have to set a hearing on that. I'll be glad to have a hearing. Your attorney will be in contact with you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Charles Chrisley. Charles Chrisley.
Good morning, Judge.
Yeah, hello. Commonwealth versus Charles Chrisley. 23 CR 0061. Are you Charles Chrisley?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Here today for the purpose of arraignment. You have the right to remain silent. Your attorney is here in court. He's way there, counselor. See him? Okay.
Yes, sir.
The grand jury of Clinton County returned an indictment charging you with burglary in the third degree, criminal mischief in the first degree, theft, unlawful taking a disposition more than $500 but less than $1,000, criminal trespass, and being a persistent felony offender on the burglary and criminal mischief warrant. You acknowledge the identity of your client, receiving indictment, waive formal reading and arraignment, and plead not guilty, reserving all pretrial motions.
Yes, Your Honor.
Setting a reciprocal discovery order, where Mr. Chrisley, where they have to provide your attorney with the evidence, help you prepare your case. You'll be here on January 29th for negotiations and on February the 8th for your next court appearance. If you need a transportation order to transport Mr. Brown, I know he's down here locally right now.
Yes.
If he's here, we'll need to have him brought up probably. Probably need to sign a transfer order or something to have him brought up anyway, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you very much.
Judge,
Yeah, Mr. Chrisley, you got something?
could I ask for a bond reduction? I'd like.
Of course you can ask what. Just a $25,000 surety.
Yes, sir. I don't have anybody to go that surety bond. If I could get a signature bond, get out, get back to work, I'd like to point out that
How much, you have somebody, who you work for?
I work for Detweiler Construction in Elizabethtown. I've been up there.
Surely somebody will sign a surety bond just to get you out. How long have you been in?
I've been, it's 3 weeks now, and then I was in 3 months before the indictment came out.
Yes, he had initially served, was released on a 60-day failure to indict and was indicted subsequently. So he had been in a while before.
What are you saying?
Your Honor, I turned myself in.
Wait just a second.
I'm sorry.
Will be staying in Elizabethtown and working up there.
Yeah. Will you be staying in, what's?
Yes, he's on probation at work.
Yeah.
He's what?
He's on probation out of Martin County. They had their hand on, but I think they looked at it and put him back on probation. Mr. Shea.
He doesn't have any business in Clinton, so.
Okay, well, here's the deal. I'm gonna lower it to a $10,000 surety. So anybody who's got a car probably come in and sign to get you out. Well, okay, you can't put the car up, but they can show up. But you got somebody that signed a $10,000 surety to get you out?
Don't know that I do, Your Honor. I don't know that I do. I don't have any family left, and I've got a few friends, but I hate to, I'd be willing, like you said,
Wait just a second.
Berkeley, Your Honor, criminal mischief,
Burglary?
criminal trespass.
What are the fact allegations of this case, Mr. Stockton?
This is the case where he was allegedly went in and robbed his mobile home over 50 times. It wasn't being used as a residence, but they were remodeling it, fixing it up, and people going in and taking items out of that. Evidently, he's on Hardin County probation, and he was staying down here because he was basically homeless. So I don't know if he's got living arrangements in Hardin.
Where are you gonna live if you go back to Hardin County?
I have a place. I'm staying with a friend of mine in Hardin County. And Your Honor, I reported the day after this indictment came out. I knew I was going to jail. Reported to my probation.
I know enough. I know enough.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to make a condition on your bond, except for court appearances. You stay out of Clinton County and Cumberland County.
That's fine.
Okay, now I know that's a hard condition to stay out of this area here, but I want you to give a specific address where you're gonna stay, and wherever you're staying, you're to remain in that residence except for work, church, going to the doctor, grocery store. In other words, you're not to be out gomming around, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I'm gonna lower it to a $5,000 surety bond. Lowest surety bond I've ever set in my life, okay? Now, if after a week you can't find anybody to make the surety bond, your attorney will call a Commonwealth attorney to see if they can reach an agreement, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Daniel Duval for sentencing. Commonwealth Kentucky versus Daniel Duval, 20 CR 00021. Are you Daniel Duval?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, sir.
Your pretrial diversion was voided on December 11th, 2023. Have you had an opportunity to look at this pre-sentence investigation report done by probation and parole?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is it correct? Is it correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Counselor, is there any reason that this gentleman should not be sentenced?
No, Your Honor, but with regards to the PSI, I think it's just a timing issue. It reflects that the charges in Wayne County were pending. He has been indicted on those pending charges since in Wayne County. And there was an older case showing on the PSI that was also still showing as pending from 2007. We'll check on it. Okay.
Okay, it'll be modified. Is there any reason this gentleman should not be sentenced?
No, Your Honor.
This court sentences you to 3 years to serve. They give you credit for a time served. Okay, thank you very much. Thomas Moreland. Thomas Moreland. I'm waiting for you to come on. Huh? Yeah. Commonwealth versus Thomas Moreland, 23 CR 0065. Are you Thomas Moreland?
Yes.
You're here today for arraignment. I see your attorney, Mr. Bertram, is there with you. You have the right to remain silent. If you have any questions concerning thing, you can stop and ask him. Could you get, I don't see a copy of the indictment.
They gave me the only copy, Your Honor,
Okay, well,
and I've received that, and I'm representing enter plea of not guilty, waive formal.
he's charged with strangulation, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And assault with fourth degree?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any other charge on that list on that indictment, Jim?
It says strangulation, second degree, a class D felony. I do not see the misdemeanor. Oh, yeah, I do. Here's the other one. 60.
Those are the only two charges. Do you acknowledge the identity of your client, received the indictment? Waive
Yes.
formal reading and arraignment, enter plea of not guilty, reserving all pretrial motion.
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Okay, well, you need to be here on the 29th for a negotiation day at 9 a.m. and back on February the 8th for his next pretrial. I'm signing a reciprocal discovery order. The Commonwealth has information up here that they will hand to you in preparation for the negotiations and for those proceedings, okay?
Your Honor, we may not need the negotiation day. I think we've resolved the case. There's a sentence in district court that's on the obstacle, and that will be resolved on the 24th. So if we could just come back to 8th, I think we'd be ready to enter the plea then.
You come back to 8th, but I want you to have the paperwork done. The paperwork's done. He said, Mr. Stockton says the paperwork's done. So if you'll make sure you have the paperwork here on that day, and if you want your client to be here in court, you'll need to do a transport order to bring him up here, okay?
I'll do that, Your Honor. Thank you very much. If I be excused.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeffrey Reagan.
Very good. Thank you.
Commonwealth versus Jeffrey Reagan. 20-0035. Are you Jeffrey Reagan?
Yes.
Reagan?
Yes.
Says you're here on the review. We'll find out what that's about here.
Your Honor, probation and parole. We had a hearing on Mr. Reagan in December, and he had violated his probation, but the court was reluctant to revoke him because of his health. And probation has him lined up for a short-term inpatient treatment at Protea because of his medical issues. And then he'll come out, he'll go through not SAP IOP, but inpatient IOP, I'm sorry. Counseling, if that's all right.
How long is the treatment?
Short term, anywhere from 30 to 90 days.
Okay, is that he had all kinds of medication?
Yes.
And Judge, the only thing Mr. Reagan had asked is, my understanding in doing his intake, that he has to take some items with him, some clothes, some shoes, and some groceries. If he could have some time to go by his home and get those.
We don't have a bed date yet. The bed date's not ready today. We wanted to make sure he was okay with
I'm
it.
all right with that. I'll go ahead and sign an order and he get somebody, whoever's gonna transport him. He said a family member's gonna transport him. Who's gonna transport him?
I don't know. You all
I don't know.
Well, you need to work that out. And if Mr. Reagan has a family member that's gonna transport him, they can pick him up the day of transport, go out and get the clothes that he needs and run him by a dollar store. There's one on every corner.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you know. We'll give him like 2 hours to get there, 3 hours. If he's
Yeah.
going to Somerset.
Yeah. Mr. Reagan, do you have clothes at your home that you can pick up to take with you, or somebody laundering them for you, or what's the deal?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, make sure whoever is gonna help you, tell them what you need and that sort of stuff, and we'll let them take you over there and get that stuff and then stop by a grocery. You look like you're feeling better. Are you feeling better?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
That's good. Well, I hope you get cleaned up. Things turn around for you, mister. Okay?
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
Michael, they'll be getting with you soon as they get a bed date. Okay?
But they talked to me yesterday and told me they had a bed for me.
Well, they'll give you the exact date, okay? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Michael Ritchie. Commonwealth versus Michael Ritchie. Mr. Reagan seems a little bit confused.
I was with me, yeah.
Commonwealth versus Michael Ritchie. Are you Michael Ritchie?
Yes. Yes.
You're here for a pretrial diversion revocation. What do you have, Mr. Stockton?
Your Honor, Mr. Ritchie's on, he has a 5-year sentence for wanton endangerment from when he pointed a gun in the direction of Melina Ritchie, who's the victim in this case. I filed a previous motion to revoke pretrial diversion because Miss Ritchie had gotten a plea against him saying that he was holding her when they get to her medical attention. We had a hearing on that, claiming that that was a forgery or whatever. But ultimately, after that hearing, the court ordered that Michael Ritchie was not to have any contact with Melina Ritchie. Well, Mr. Ritchie was arrested on December 18th because he'd been to her residence, had borrowed a car off of her. I don't doubt that he's been having contact with her because since he's been in jail, Miss Ritchie's called me, told me that he's her husband, she's not afraid of him, and she wants him with her because she's having health problems. So the only issue is he's going to be revoked because he violated the court's order, or is the court going to let them have a contact? I mean, that's where we are.
Judge, Miss Ritchie's here. She has been in this courtroom a number of times to dismiss the underlying EPO DVO, to try to dismiss.
Is there a weapon involved in it?
The first because the entry of the plea.
How long has he been in jail?
Over 30 days. This time since December 18th, when he was called down to her residence.
Is she here?
She is, Judge, and we have a trial set on the violations, February 22nd. The allegations most recently are that he was in a car that belongs to him that he has keys to.
There's a district charge for violating the EPO, DVO, and district code. And that's.
Well, I'm just gonna wait and see what happens there. Still waiting. That's the jurist.
What does he mean by that?
You can't say you can't be with her, man, you're gonna be in jail.
I mean, what does he mean by jury?
What do you mean by jury?
So I go to court on Tuesday to have the EPO, DVO amended or dismissed.
Right, they told me there's a jury trial set for it. Is that correct?
On the alleged assault and violations of the DVO, EPO. Been trying to drop for 6 months.
I don't care what she's been trying to do. I try to fly and I can't do that on occasion. Right now, there's a pending case in district court that's gonna be tried in front of a jury. Now, if you can get the prosecutor to keep you to keep the Commonwealth from protecting you, if that's what you want, if you don't want the protection of the Commonwealth and you want to subject yourself to a continued relationship, there's not much I can do about that, but I'm not gonna do anything until I find out what that jury does or see what the district court does. And I'll probably go along with whatever the district court does, okay? Okay, thank you very much. Joseph Wallace. Joseph Wallace. Commonwealth versus Joseph Wallace, 22 CR 0017. Are you Joseph Wallace?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, I'll make that change. You were here on a probation revocation hearing. You're representing Mr. Cross. You step to the left, Mr. Cross. Mr. Stockton.
I just briefly tell what the court is. We need testimony. Mr. Wallace has been absconded since June of 2023. And in August of 2023, at the address he was supposed to be living with, Angela Wallace was arrested and she had 45 grams of methamphetamine possession. So that's the two bases for a revocation.
Your Honor, we're prepared to stipulate that he absconded. I believe that
We'll
means.
stipulate and we will revoke the probation, and I guess the time he's got will be good, good time, I would assume, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there anybody else at the Clinton County Jail that's on our docket here today?
No, sir.
Okay, well, you're excused. That concludes the criminal docket of the Clinton Circuit. Thank you.